Found my wife's secret hotel reservation. Should I confront her or spy on her? Wife and we are both 37. While using my wife's iPad, I saw an email confirmation for a hotel reservation downtown. Tonight, I am supposed to be hanging out with some friends. I've been having some suspicions lately for other reasons, including a nightie on the laundry after a recent business trip that I've never seen her wear. She kissed me goodbye this morning like usual, but didn't take any luggage or anything. Not even an overnight bag that I noticed. Not certain what to do. Any advice? I've been thinking of leaving work early and hanging out in the lobby/nearby cafe, but I'm not certain it's a good idea. Top comments. Skip the night with your friends and hang out in the lobby until she shows up. If you know the room number, you can go to the hotel and confront her, or go to the hotel and say my wife is waiting for me. Ask what room she is. Or you need to call her and tell her that your plans changed tonight and you'd like to take her out. See what she says, but let her know you are going to be home. And then I'd ask her what the room was for. I think you know what it most likely is. False. Unless she specifically put her husband's name in the room share line item, the hotel cannot legally give him a key or access to the room. That is a big no-no in the hotel industry, and no matter how much you yell at the front desk, we can't do it. As painful as it might be, you need to catch her in the act. If you can gather physical proof of her cheating, a divorce will go easier. Even if you don't get a divorce, it's better to know exactly what's going on. I've kind of ruled out a surprise at this point, but I like your positivity. I've imagined all these kinds of scenarios where my doubts are misplaced, like she's reserving a room in her name to help a friend who is getting away from an abusive relationship or other crap like that, but I know that's all BS. It's probably exactly what I think it is. I thought about the PI, but I don't think I want to go that route. If she's to be caught, I want to be the one to do it. Catch her red-handed, otherwise she may deny it. Also, don't ask her room number. The hotel will call her room and notify her. I'm worried about my reaction. Not that I'd be violent or anything, far from it, but the emotions are running kind of high right now. Hard to focus at work. Update. So, I went to the hotel. You may think I'm an idiot. I'm going to be vague about some specifics, just to be safe. I left work early and started driving to the hotel. It was well before the scheduled check-in time, and she is not the time to ever skip work, so I figured I'd probably see her in the lobby when she came to check in. I did take the advice about texting her about going to dinner. She responded after a while and said that she was good for dinner, but would be home only a little later than normal as she had an errand to run. The errand was 100% believable and in character, and the extra time was appropriate for the errand. I knew there was no way I would ever get a room number from anyone who worked there. Come on, people, that was never going to happen. But I knew they'd put me through if I asked for her room. The email said the reservation was in her name. I called and they put me right through. I hung up before it rang, though, since I wasn't actually there yet. But that was confirmation that the reservation was real, and she was there, since she was already there in the middle of the day, which, as mentioned, was weird to me since she's too much of a workaholic to not be working. But hey, this whole situation is abnormal, so whatever. I figured they were already in and would be done relatively soon, especially if she was going to have dinner and run this errand. I got some coffee and camped out in a good spot in the lobby, and time passed. And nothing. After about an hour, I said F it and called back to the hotel from the lobby and asked for her room again. She answered. When I mentioned it was me, she didn't seem surprised or anything. I asked what she was doing at the hotel. No, the question is, what are you doing here? And she was a bit evasive, but gave me her room number pretty quickly. As soon as she answered, I was picking up my stuff and made for the elevators. Actually, she gave me the floor number pretty fast, but not the room, so I was already on the floor within about 30 seconds of her answering. Then I got the full number. If there was someone trying to sneak out, there was a very small window of about 10 to 15 seconds where we might have crossed in the elevators. The whole time we're talking, me mainly asking what is going on, and she says she came here to work. In a hotel room? Yes, I needed to get away. I go to the room. She's there waiting for me, looking puzzled. You surprised to see me? No. Well, kinda. Honestly, she did seem more bewildered than guilty. So we go in. And nothing. Just her work computer, up and running and online. And a bunch of work papers, her planner, a notebook, spread out on the table and desk. Room service for one on the counter. 1 glass of ice water on the tray. 1 bottle of wine, partially drunk. 1 glass for the wine. 1 hand towel used in the bathroom. Seat down. No yelling, either. Some exasperation on her part, some slight offense that I thought something might be going on. To prove it was just her, she opened up all her bags and showed me everything she brought with her. Workout clothes for the hotel workout center. She's always loved those. Casual clothes for running the errand. She asked what I thought was going on. I told her how suspicious everything looks, which she agreed. Anyway, part 1 left out of the description is that we've been having some issues lately. Nothing bad per se, just more the 7-year itch, where we both agree that we can both see and not see ourselves with the other person forever. We talked about that. She talked about how much she needs some alone time, which she hasn't been getting at home these past few months, none of which is new, and there was one day she was having a bad time and this deal came up on email, so she decided to take it and treat herself. But we both talked. We both talked about the issues we have with ourselves and each other. Getting a hotel room so she can be by herself all day while working is exactly in character for the woman I've known these past 10 years. Effing around is not. Maybe she dodged a bullet and pulled a fast one on me. Maybe not. I don't really care about how others think about that. We're not calling divorce lawyers right now, but we're not planning our 25th anniversary trip either. It honestly could go either way, and I'm okay with that. I told her I'm willing to try, but she needs to be all in, and she needs to think about that. Once we seemed all talked out, I left and let her know that she can come home or stay the night there. I'm okay with either. If she needs space, she needs space. I do not, and never have, had a problem with that. Adults get sick of other people sometimes. I get that way too. So there we are. We put everything on the table, and we're still figuring it out. I'm not going to let people know how that part works out, but I thought I'd provide a little bit of closure for this chapter. One thing I didn't put on the table, though, was how I knew about the hotel, since she didn't tell anyone she was going to be there. I told her it was magic. I figure it wouldn't hurt to have her thinking about how I knew these things. Top comments. I travel a lot. Nothing like being in a room on your own, sometimes for some peace and quiet. And the dude was going to show up later, lol. I think that when you called the room the first time, the guy left immediately, or your wife canceled the date, and then your wife just had to wait for you. So you could see that she was alone and she wasn't doing anything wrong. I hope I'm wrong. So, it turned out she wasn't cheating and you're still upset? If nothing terrible has happened, why are you still at a point where you're thinking divorce is in the cards? Y'all need couples counseling. She also could have easily communicated her needs that weren't being met. Alone time. Everyone needs it. Both of you obviously have issues with communication and problem resolution and need to be taught how to do it properly before you both sabotage your own marriage to death. Yeah. Why couldn't she just say, I'll be working from a hotel today because I need some alone time? Still seems fishy to me. What I would like to know doesn't exactly match up. You say it's absolutely in character for this woman to need space to work alone. But the reservation was for when you would be gone with your friends. She would have been alone at the house anyways. Why go through the trouble of getting a hotel room and not mention a single word about it? Not in itself damning, but raises my curiosity.